Hello, I'm Acetoni and welcome to my Final Fantasy XV character guide. This first video is about Best Bro, Ignis. Now, these guides are more of a breakdown of the mechanics behind each character. I might give a practical combat tip here and there, but that's not what these videos are about. My goal is merely to explain how the game works, not how you should play it. Also, there are some minor differences between how the characters play in their respective DLCs as to how they play in the base game, but in these guides I'll only be looking at how they work in the base game, since that's where you'll be spending most of your playtime. The DLC specific mechanics are usually explained well anyway, so it doesn't really matter. With all that out of the way, let's get to the part that you're here for. On surface, Ignis' moveset isn't all that complicated. You can change between 3 elemental infusions for his daggers: fire, ice and lightning. If you've played as him at all, you will have noticed that changing element also changes his moveset. Fire gives him very fast single target attacks. The full combo is extremely long, the longest in the entire game. However, if you get to the very end, you'll be rewarded with a powerful combo ender. Fire is also the only element that has directional attacks. Pushing the stick in any direction causes him to do a little dodge that grants iframes. Curiously, the side dodge has 2 possible animations, a normal dodge and a dodge with a small dagger hit. As far as I can tell, it is entirely random which one he'll do. Pushing the left analog stick forward while attacking from neutral will also make him dash behind the enemy, however this generally only works against small enemies. Ignis has 2 aerial attacks with his fire daggers. In melee range he'll just slash with both daggers, but if you're far away, he can throw them as a long range attack, which seems to be a lot better. Ice element gives him spin attacks with a fantastic AoE. The combo ender is a ground stab that deals more damage. You can use the left stick to steer his ground movement a bit when attacking with ice daggers, but he doesn't move very fast. He also has an aerial attack with ice daggers, which is a similar AoE spin attack. Thunder daggers have one of the most unique basic combos in the game. The combo starter is a gap closer where he dashes close to the enemy, however in the subsequent attacks he'll dash through the enemy, dealing damage in the process. The combo ender is a 3-hit combo that leaves him right next to the enemy. His aerial attack is once again a similar dash attack, however Ignis can perform a pseudo air step to stay in the air with thunder element. This does consume MP, but it regains so fast that the only thing really limiting your air time is how awkward this is to use, and the fact that you can't gain any height with it. Unlike Noctis or Gladio, Ignis doesn't have any dodge counter attacks. However, if you get hit and cancel the damage with Impervious, which now has a QTE prompt for some reason, he can do a Counterstrike with a spear that does a lot of damage and is his only source of non-elemental damage, barring his tactical arts. There are 2 types of Counterstrikes, a slash attack that has a stupidly large hitbox and a stab attack. Both of these do great damage. For the sake of completion, I also mention his damage multiplier here. The multiplier goes up when you hit things and it goes down when you're not hitting things. That's pretty much all there is to it. Before I begin with this part, I want to make something very clear. I did not design this game. That much should be obvious, but the point is that I do not know the intentions of the people who made this game or how it was coded. Everything in my videos have always been mere observations. I cannot tell you how this game works under the surface or what the rules are. I can only try to describe the effects in as simple and as logical ways as I can. The reason why I wanted to say this here is because the way how Ignis' elements interact with each other when you swap between them is about as convoluted as Kingdom Hearts and unlike anything else in this game. Let's start by defining some terminology to make this easier for you and I. For all the footage I show in this part, I will be showing the combo I'm doing on the screen using these acronyms. FO stands for Fire Opener, the attack you do with fire daggers from neutral. F stands for any normal fire attacks after the opener attack. Also, since fire attacks are so fast and the combo is so long, I'll use F dash when there are more than 1 consecutive fire attacks. FE stands for Fire Ender, the last attack in the combo. D stands for any directional attacks you can do with fire daggers. I is a basic ice attack, IE is the ice combo ender, T is a basic thunder attack, including the slightly different opener. TE stands for Thunder Combo Ender, and finally C stands for the Counterstrike. Okay, you got them all memorized. I also put them all in the description below, so you don't have to come back to this part of the video if you forget what one of these means. Fire is the simplest element to explain, so I'll start with that. Whenever you switch to fire daggers, you'll always start the basic combo from the beginning. Doing any directional attacks or weapon swaps simply resets the combo, and you'll only ever get to do the combo ender if you go through the entire combo from start to finish. This is nothing new really, it's like most basic weapons work with Noctis. Ice and Thunder on the other hand, oh boy, here we go. Imagine two invisible combo counters that determine what attacks Ignis can do. One for Ice and one for Thunder. Well, you don't have to imagine, I'll just put them on the screen here. Doing any attacks increases both counters by 1, with 4 exceptions. 1. Consecutive normal fire attacks do not increase either counter. You have to perform other moves in between for normal fire attacks to count. 2. The directional attacks for fire daggers do not increase either counter at all, unless both of them are at 0. 3. Doing the ice combo ender resets the ice counter back to 0. However, it still gives +1 to the thunder counter. And 4. Doing the thunder combo ender instantly fills both counters to their maximum value, which is 4 for ice and 8 for thunder. If you at any point stop attacking, the combo ends and both counters are reset back to 0. This includes things like getting hit or using the dodge roll. The only way to evade incoming damage without resetting the combo counters is to use the iframes provided by the directional attacks for fire daggers. So what do the counters determine exactly? Well, if the ice counter is less than 4, you will always do the basic spin attack, but if it's 4, you'll do the ender. However, the ender can only be done after a basic ice attack or a basic fire attack. For this reason, it is possible to do the normal ice attack even when the counter is at its maximum value, 4. Thunder on the other hand, well, if the thunder counter is 0, Ignis will do his gap closing dash that leaves him close to the enemy. If the counter is between 1 and 5, he'll do the attack where he dashes through the enemy. If the counter is 6 or 7, he'll do the combo ender. If the counter ever reaches 8, thunder attacks will become entirely unavailable for the rest of the combo. Trying to do a thunder attack when the counter is 8 will either cause Ignis to attack with whatever element he was using before you swap to thunder, or just cause him to stop attacking entirely. If you can keep the invisible counters in mind while playing, this combo structure can be taken advantage of to do various things. For example, it can be used to do multiple enders in quick succession. Let's look at this example. As you can see, at the end there I'm able to do 4 combo enders with just 2 normal fire attacks in between. At first I do 2 ice attacks to increase both counters to 2. Then I do the full fire combo, but since I'm doing fire attacks, only the first attack increases both counters. Finally, the combo ender raises both counters to 4, so I can now do the ice ender. However, since ice ender can only be done after a basic fire attack or a basic ice attack, I do a normal fire attack first and then the ice combo ender. Ice counter is now reset entirely, however everything up till this point has built the thunder counter all the way up to 6, which enables Ignis to do the thunder ender. This ender completely fills both counters, which allows me to do the ice ender again after a basic fire attack. But yeah, that's how it all works in a nutshell. I don't really have anything else to say, let's just move on to more practical and simple things, shall we? I'll write all the rules and exceptions of this system down in the description below. Ignis has 3 main dodge moves. The first one of them is a basic iframe dodge roll, just like Noctis. However, unlike any other character, Ignis can use this dodge even in danger state. Ignis can also phase like Noctis, but his MP works differently. Ignis constantly expends MP while in the phasing stance, but phasing itself is free. His MP also regenerates at a very fast rate. The same rules about phaseable and unphaseable attacks apply to Ignis as well. If Ignis' MP runs out, he'll enter stasis where he cannot phase or dodge roll for a few seconds. Finally, Ignis has Impervious as soon as you unlock him as a playable character. Just like with Noctis, it negates all damage you just received if you tap the defend button at the right time after being hit. And like I said previously, Ignis can follow this up with a Counterstrike with his spear. Ignis has a special attack called Total Clarity that he can use after this bar fills up. It fills a bit every time you hit an enemy or phase through an attack, or you can just hold down the button to charge it up manually. Once it's fully charged, pushing the button will make Ignis use Total Clarity. With Fire Daggers, Total Clarity does all the damage in the world on a single target. With Ice Daggers, it does an AoE attack. And with Thunder, it's once again a case of this game having the most awful tutorials ever. In the tutorial it claims that this attack deals incredible damage to shocked enemies, but in reality whether an enemy is shocked or not has absolutely no bearing on what damage this attack does. What actually happens is that this attack always deals good damage, but it only targets enemies that have this shock status effect. All of these attacks have aerial versions as well, but they're functionally identical to their ground counterparts. You can't charge or use Total Clarity in danger state, but holding down the button will make Ignis focus and recover from danger state faster. And finally, we have Tactical Arts. Ignis' tech meter fills up constantly while he's in battle, and this can be spent to use these attacks. High Jump just deals a lot of physical damage with a respectable AoE. There isn't anything else special about this. Overclock buffs a random element, making Ignis do double damage with that element. If you use Overclock again when the buff is active, the previous buff will be overwritten. Quick Recipe gives Ignis random buff or a debuff. Usually these involve either making his Total Clarity bar fill up automatically or deplete constantly, but there are other possible effects as well, such as poison. And that's all for Ignis. Thank you for watching, and special thanks to all my subscribers for your patience. This video was long overdue, but it's finally here. The other two should take much less time to finish. In the meantime, be sure to check out this Gladiolus guide made by Ricky Wills if you haven't seen it already. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.